The Syrian government is carrying out airstrikes in Eastern Ghouta while militants have launched mortar attacks on Damascus. The UN Security Council resolution called for a 30-day ceasefire, which has not been observed. Dan Cohen has the story tonight.
The UN resolution was supposed to allow for humanitarian deliveries and medical evacuations from what the UN called hell on earth. While Western media have blamed the Syrian government for violating Saturday's ceasefire agreement, the Russian Ministry of Defense said it was the militants who first broke it. But neither the Syrian government nor the militant groups in Eastern Ghouta have much incentive to stop fighting. The resolution allows for the Syrian government to continue carrying out operations against terrorist groups. In Damascus, public sentiment is in favor of continuing military operations.
This truce is similar to the others, and we will see it being violated. This is the same old story, and we are the ones who end up being harmed. Don't you see the children, old people, women and students? Who should we feel sorry for? For these rebels?
We are tired of shelling. Every day about 30 to 40 shells fall here.
I am against the truce because it only benefits the rebels. I hope that it will be over soon and that no gunmen remain there.
Reports say 500 people have been killed in Eastern Ghouta, though these figures are impossible to verify as neither human rights workers nor journalists have access to the insurgent-controlled territory. In the last week, indiscriminate mortar attacks on Damascus by insurgents have killed 4 people and injured more than 50, including 16 children. Today, the Russian Ministry of Defense announced a daily 5-hour humanitarian pause will be implemented to allow civilians to escape. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says a disinformation campaign against the Syrian government is underway.
Fake reports are being planted in the media about chlorine allegedly used in Eastern Ghouta. News outlets are citing an anonymous source from the US. Let me remind you, we've been warning about such fake stories since yesterday, and there will be more such stories. From social media, from the White Helmets, a provocative organization with a history of fake reports, especially when it comes to chemical attacks for which there is no evidence. So these provocations will continue with a single goal, to blacken the Syrian government by accusing it of all sorts of violations and war crimes.
Hours later, the White Helmets, which have been linked to Al-Qaeda, claimed that the Syrian military deployed chemical weapons, an act Western leaders have said is a red line that would trigger a military intervention against the Assad government. In Washington, Dan Cohen, RT.